This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition, a very, very late edition of Edmonton Oilers Game Reviews following a big-time victory for our Edmonton Oilers, 7-3 over top of the Arizona Coyotes. But let me set this one up for you, shall we? Afternoon game against the Arizona Coyotes on a Saturday at Rogers Place. Stop me if you think that's a recipe for disaster, because let me tell you, I've been through that once before, right? A 2 p.m. start against the Dallas Stars, mid-November this season. Yeah, you know what? We collapsed. We fell apart late. Obviously, Connor McDavid's line out there for that goal against the Tide. And there was a whole mess of things, and it kind of save for the Arizona Vegas games at the end of the month, things started kind of tail spinning a little bit from there. Well, okay. All right. Let's not go there, because you know what? That game, a total wash out of my memory after what happened at Rogers Place today against the Arizona Coyotes in similar circumstances. In fact, a little bit weirder circumstances. Taking note that the Oilers had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off, so they did get lots of practice time in. And I mean, it's been a miracle to see what practice time does for this Oilers team since, well, that Calgary game December 27th. We've gone 6-1-1 now, following a 7-3 victory against the Arizona Coyotes, and then absolutely kind of turn it around, get the spirits back up, and let's get winning again. Change in the schedule, that is for sure, as now, guys, this is it. This last game, this 7-3 victory against Arizona to keep us, for the moment, I don't know the score of the Vegas game. I kind of just rolled in, got Wi-Fi, and got going here before watching the UFC fights tonight. But that said, 4-2 Montreal? There we go, 4-2 Montreal right now. As okay, that's good news, right? So now you have to just wait on about half an hour from now. It's 7:30 as I record this, when the Vancouver Canucks get playing an important game in the standings, because I mentioned it, right? Calgary played today, they lost. Arizona played us, they lost. We won. That puts us into a three-way tie for first as it stands. 4-2 Montreal over Vegas would keep it that way. And then, of course, depending on what Vancouver does, hopefully they take a massive L tonight and keep us right where we are in that first place tie. Technically speaking, first in the division over top of everybody. Well, back there again. I mean, 6-1-1 stretch is going to do that. I think that's where I led into that whole little mini tangent. But that said, right, is we're going into the AllStar break almost, probably, depending on the result, of a quarter of a game left, probably between Vegas and Montreal, and a full game against Vancouver, tied for first in the division, or 1 point out of the division lead. Now, okay, let's go back to that 7-1-1 stint, right, when we were top dogs in the Pacific Division. Guys, we were laughing, we were having too much fun, and people were calling this team oh, hold on, no, don't get ahead of yourself, you're going to crap the bed. Well, guys, we're looking, that Calgary game January 29th, it's an important one just based on everything that happened last time out in Calgary, but don't forget how important it is in terms of the schedule. Game number 50 on the year, and then we're really looking at the rest of the year sliding away like that. Suddenly it warms up, suddenly there we are, and bing bang boom. And the other thing, and it's playoff time, and we're going to find out, are we going to be there or not? Everybody that was saying you shouldn't enjoy the 7-1-1 start because the rest of the season is going to be crap, I hope you're eating it a little bit right now, because you know what? We just rattled off a 6-1-1 start to go into the AllStar break. And you know what? Right there, 50 games in, we're still more than very relevant in the Pacific Division. Now, I know what everybody's starting to get into. So, okay, here's the thing. Oilers do miserable, everybody's ready to crap on them. Oilers start doing good again, guess what? The Pacific Division's weak. I get it. The Pacific Division isn't the all-star division that some of the other divisions might be in the NHL right now based on points-wise. But guess what? That's because for the good chunk of November and December, everybody in the division was going at each other like this, and Well, guess what? There's parity within the division because you're going up, down, up, and everywhere in between. And guess what our Edmonton Oilers didn't do at any point of that? Is totally shoot themselves in the foot, go on the big losing streak, and end the season in December. Guess what? We're still here, and it's January 18th. And guess what? We're still going to be here. Bye weeks and stuff are going to change that a little bit. And I know maybe Vegas, I think, goes on the bye week after the break, after the All-Star break. But look at it this way: is no matter which way you cut it for this Edmonton Oilers team, going into the All-Star break, we are tied for first, however you want to say it, or second in the division. Good to go. I have no problem about it. So, with that said, there's a lot of problems I may have. One that I want to address right quick, but first we need to get to what happened in that Arizona game. And I guess, you know what, you've probably read the score sheet, and if you haven't, I invite you to go read the score sheet. It was a big night for Riley Sheehan and Josh Archibald. That's the big thing. That dynamic duo got the shorthanded goal. They were all over the ice all game long. They were on the ice with Connor McDavid to end the game, so that tells you what Dave Tippett's thinking with an empty net, like get these guys out here and reward them for their hard work. So that was nice to see. And of course, as Oilers fans, seeing our depth scoring get some jobs done, especially 3 and 4 points nights out of Archibald and Sheehan, how can we really complain? Like, or is anyone going to sit here and say the lack of depth scoring is killing this team at this point? Not no more. But that aside, I do have to thank my buddy Brad for taking me down to Rogers Place and sitting in the Sportsnet Lounge. Now, obviously, a guy would sit here and speculate, well, isn't the Sportsnet Lounge where Gene Principe does his stuff? I found out tonight it's in the Sky Lounge, which is actually, there's like 3 levels on top of each other. It goes Sportsnet Lounge level A, Sportsnet Lounge level B, and then Sky Lounge. That's all fine and dandy. I got no qualms about that. That's a good time. Gene Principe above me, which meant I just got to sit back, relax, eat some delicious pork belly, which, guys, definitely, if you can get yourself into the Sportsnet Lounge, I'm telling you, you have to do that at some point. Like, if you're talking a reward for yourself for a hard year's work, Sportsnet Lounge, during an Oilers game, you're not going to regret it. And so the pork belly, the taters, everything was fantastic. All the food was top grade. The service up there is incredible. And then, of course, the dessert table. Like, I mean, I'm a guy who likes my sweets, I'll admit that. But, wow. Absolutely unreal. The bread pudding was to die for. They had ice cream mid-game. Like, come on. How can you not enjoy a hockey game when it's a 7-3 finish for your Oilers and you get that well fed? Like, unreal time. But that aside, I also got a very good view of the rink today, and I mean, yeah, you know what? There's not a bad seat in the house. I always tell you that. Every time I do a video and I'm talking about the seating in Rogers Place, I'm telling you there's not a bad seat in the house. Well, tonight, unfortunately, my seat, very good. Very good. Absolutely nothing about the seat. It's about the other seats in the building and how empty they were. Now, I'd gauge probably about 15% of the seats weren't filled at Rogers, and I know there's been a lot said online, a lot talked about the seating in the rink, and, well, you know what, if they wanted more butts in the seats, they'd lower the price, or they'd produce a better product, this, that, and the other thing. End of the day, guys, look at this. What did we talk about for the first 5 minutes of the video? We're a first-place team, technically speaking, depending on what happens tonight. At the end of the game, at the end of the Calgary game, we're a first-place team, okay? So that's where we're sitting. We're a first-place team after Calgary lost to Ottawa today. And yet, yes, I get it. People are upset with the Oilers organization, Edmonton Oilers, or Oilers Entertainment Group, for a lot of things that have happened over the years. And this is the year we're taking it out on them. And here we go. No, I ain't supporting this. But guess what? I've ranted about this before. And it's not that I'm upset that you're taking out your anger and taking out your frustration and showing a sign of whatever protest against the company that runs our hockey team or the hockey team itself, this, that, and the other thing, as I say. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, there is no reason an Edmonton Oilers game in Edmonton should have an empty seat. And that, to me, is what upsets me, because everybody knows in Alberta, there are a lot of people right now hurting. Okay, there's a lot of Albertans hurting, and trust me, a lot of families hurting. And I'm sorry, if you sit here and can't figure out what to do with your tickets for the Oilers game, because screw the Oilers. I can't believe I bought season tickets again. Why did I bother? And you can't figure out that, man, you have season tickets. You're like one of the very lucky few Oilers fans in the province who has season tickets, but you don't want to go. You don't want to sell your ticket. Why can't you give your ticket away? That's my frustration. Seeing those empty seats, there is no reason those empty seats should not have some very grateful folks from any walk of life sitting in the building enjoying their team as well, right? It's not just, this team is not just built on season holders as the only fans. There are fans everywhere. There's no reason you can't give away those tickets for free, for big discount. Get out there and get some kids in the stands that have never gone to Rogers Place, because I'm going to tell you, not everybody in the province, just because Rogers Place has been around for 4 years now, has magically gone to Rogers Place. Straight up, going to tell you, no, not everybody has. So that's my frustration, seeing empty seats. And I know, okay, at the end of the day, there's always going to be an empty seat here or there, because at the end of the day, not every ticket gets resold or this or that. And I'm not talking about the ticky-tacky, one ticket here, one ticket here. There was a lot of sections that had 5 empty seats, 6 empty seats. And at the end of the day, guys, right, team's doing good. Team's going to do good the rest of the year. Why is nobody there, especially on a Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m.? Are you telling me that's too inconvenient to your schedule? No, that's a very, very poor excuse. Guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. A 7-3 win. I'm a very happy camper. Hey, man, I just had one of the best experiences I've ever had at Rogers Place. I just literally had a crazy day. I went from Airdrie all the way up to Edmonton, all the way to Rogers Place, back to the car, all the way out of Edmonton, back to Airdrie, all in one day. Like, let me tell you, I don't get to do those kind of trips often, and I got to sit in some of the most premium seats in the building. And the Oilers won 7-3. How do you not have yourself a great day? Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I hope you enjoyed the win as much as I did. Fantastic all-around game. I am up on out of here.